Non-Australians, what shocks you the most about Australia? The size of the place. When I flew there, movie finished, I checked the flight tracker map thing, saw we were just about approaching Australia. Thought to myself, not long till we land, I won't watch another film. I could have watched another 2 films as there was over 5 hours left of the flight. Yep, we recently flew from Sydney to Perth and it was 5 hours. That's the same as London to Eastern Turkey. Kangaroos. Angry 2-legged deer. 3-legged deer. For if the cunts are male. Something is wrong with the way you market Tim Tams. Arnott's should be bigger than Amazon. How bad your internet is. The banter. Aussies are surprisingly quick and have a great sense of humor. Also, they tend to have a darker, irreverent taste in jokes. Makes for good entertainment. How much Aussies drink alcohol and swear way more than us Americans. Living down under the past 6 years now has been eye-opening. About 15 years ago, so may have changed, but being in Darwin in the evenings and watching community wardens rounding up Aboriginal people in vans at 9 p.m. and taking them out to the reserves. A local told me they weren't allowed in the city after a certain time, not a law but agreement between the council and the elders. The dudes had bats. I saw people physically picked up and thrown into a van. That's possibly the most messed up shit LVE ever seen in a first world, non-war-torn, we've said sorry and it's all okay, country. WTF Australia? American here and was there a year ago. I know this is just my perspective, but when I got off the plane and the whole time I was there, I did not feel tension in the air like I do here. Like I said, that was just my perspective. It was a great trip visiting my daughter. I can't wait to go back to visit. The fact that almost the entire population lives near the coast. The center is enormous and deadly. IDKY, but it blows my mind seeing those pics of signs saying stuff along the lines of, next gas station is far AF. If you're not prepared you're gonna die. Canadian here. Vacationed at 3 locations in Australia with my wife, a total of 10 days, not near long enough. Brisbane, Cairns, and Alice Springs. Brisbane could have been the sister city to Vancouver, British Columbia IMO. The thing that shocked me the most was when in Cairns, we were awake at 2 a.m. due to the time change, and we went outside, looked up in the sky, and there was probably 1,000 massive bats just flying overhead, flying foxes I believe. It was very very cool to see that. There actually isn't a massive fucking spider around every corner. Well, not one that you can see, anyway. Yeah, those cunts usually hide. Australian here that has been living in Canada for the past 3 months. It's funny looking back at how things are done differently in Australia that you grow up thinking is normal and don't appreciate. Simple things like tipping culture and taxes are already displayed on price tags. I'm finding Canada to be such an expensive country to live in. 500 milliliters of honey, equivalent of home brand, $10. How? I've had a few Canadians ask how we live with so many deadly creatures, snakes, spiders, etc. Like WTF, you literally have bears roaming the street that can physically overpower you and fuck you up. A moose can be the size of an SUV, run ridiculously fast even in deep snow. It can also F***king swim and will charge you if intimidated, and don't get me started on cougars, and not the fun type. Planning on being in Canada for another year and a half, but already missing the Australian culture to a certain extent. Canada is so beautiful though. How immense and diverse it is in all sorts of ways when it comes to landscape and wildlife. The bird life is unbelievable. I lived there for a decade in Victoria and WA, Perth, the Kimberley, Goldfields, and Warburton. A few months ago I started adding up the journeys I had driven whilst there, and it was over 100,000 kilometers. I visited every state and territory bar Tassie. I drove to work from Perth once and it took 3 days to travel 3,000 kilometers. Also drove Perth to Bathurst via AS Rock. Had a pet kangaroo, shot, ate and ran into a few also. Hunted goanna and roos with some Aboriginal fellas. Held a gold bar, which was the week's production for the mine I worked at the time. Had a ball. Was actually back there in Melbourne for Christmas just gone. Strala, fucking awesome. The racism. American here, it's shockingly similar, honestly. A few surprises. 1. Toasties. It's like having excellent grilled cheese sandwiches available everywhere, at all times. 2. How well tap on, tap off works. 3. For a people who ridicule basic American coffee. You sure go hard on the instant coffee. 4. How you can leave your stuff lying around and it doesn't get stolen. Overall fabulous country. 5 stars. I'm half Australian with a lot of Aussie family and have spent most of my life living outside of the country, so I feel I have a semi-outsider's perspective to the country. Some things which immediately spring to mind are: 1. How completely uninhabited so much of the country is. 2. The sheer expanse of the red rocky deserts. 3. How much casual racism still exists towards the Aborigines and how much the country is struggling to navigate its past. 4. How endless and gobsmackingly beautiful its stretches of coastline are. 5. How insanely big saltwater crocodiles can grow to. They are like monsters from another time. 6. How clean and well designed the cities are, including the water quality at major ports. 7. Australians are very anti-littering and I would say are much more environmentally aware than most people LVE come across. 8. The low rates of smoking and gun violence. 9. The environmental hypocrisies in the country, such as its love affair with coal, mining, and trawlers. 10. How a country with so many resources, good city planning and so much space still has a rental crisis developing. 11. Australians' fascination with snow and how many will decorate shop window displays with fake snow etc. in the run-up to Christmas despite the sweltering temperatures. 12. How insanely deadly or poisonous, venomous some really tiny and innocuous-looking Australian animals are. 13. The stereotype that they love their beer and barbecues is very true. 14. Kangaroos really do box each other. 15. How massive and grassless fields on sheep farms are. Edit. 1. Aussie, rather than Aussie, was a typing error. I wrote this post while very tired, but thanks, it seems like every other comment here is on correcting me about that. 2. I didn't know that Aborigine was racist whereas Aboriginal is not, my apologies. 3. A lot of people here themselves seem to be confused as to what the native peoples should be called. It was really hot, I mean an air frying dry heat. I could hang the laundry and it would be bone dry in minutes. And expensive, even for Scandinavian standards. A can of soda was $3.5, a pack of steaks $25, a loaf of buttercup bread $7. Edited. For the record, I was there in early spring traveling the East Coast, local spring Australia. My friend has recently moved over from Texas, and has said the thing that shocked her the most is how much Australian millennials love The Simpsons. It was on free-to-air TV just after dinner time for years from the mid-90s to early 2000s and was basically something everyone was watching and enjoying together. Exactly. 6 p.m. weekday reruns on Channel 10, 7:30 on Wednesdays for a new episode. Can't remember the name of the road, but read somewhere there is a road so deadly there are warning signs before you travel it. Like make sure you have plenty of gas and supplies in case you break down since you can die from dehydration so quickly. There are a lot more than one road like that. Lots of desert roads that you 100% need to be prepared and know what you're doing or you're going to have a very bad time. The fact that anyone finds that accent attractive. Fucking nails on a chalkboard for me. Yee. Well, I immigrated to Australia 5 years ago, and the thing that shocked me the most was the housing, the relatively poor quality, the high price for that quality, the constant bug and mold issues. We've got some stuff to clean up there, IMO. That, and how strong the sun is. Everyone talks about the snakes and spiders, but the thing that's really trying to kill you all the time is the sun. I do generally like living here though, lol, for the record. That the reason why Aussies look so old is that they're closer to the sun and receive more UV rays. Nah yeah equals yes please. Yeah nah equals no thank you. Don't forget, yeah nah equals air. Maybe nah probably not. As an Australian myself, the thing I hate most is our anti-intellectualism. We're automatically suspicious of a bloke that can string 2 words together without fucking in the middle of them. The East Coast cities are almost like California. That the Australians went to war with emus in the 30s and they lost. Well, the Americans lost a war against drugs in modern times. And the Vietnamese, arguably the Koreans, and ourselves see 1865. No, the US won the Civil War, the secessionist slavers and traitors lost. And the Taliban. That even after living here for 25 years I'm still referred to by my ethnicity and will never be called an Australian. TBF, a lot of Australians refer to each other that way too. I was born here but my parents were born overseas, 2 different countries, and I'm usually referred to as either of their nationalities, instead of just Australia. As a German I was shocked the most that the buses weren't on time, in a big city like Sydney, and that you have to signal them to stop, unthinkable in my country. Some people still vote Liberal in elections, talk about living in the past. They are has-beens. For any American seeing this comment, the Liberal Party are the Conservatives. I thought everybody would be friendly there, and then after I went I learned I would rather talk to an asshole in the tourism industry in NYC than to a coffee barista in Sydney. We like to take it slow. Don't come on too strong or we will think you're an annoying American. It's not you, it's us. That's why you don't go to Sydney, overrated. We aren't assholes, unless you're American. The dislike is even more so in hospitality. It's even worse in Melbourne. Could just be me, but I work in the CBD where most of the tourists come through. I make coffees and help them out with directions. I tend to enjoy them more than the locals. Sydney is kinda known for that though. Come and talk to a Brisbane barista and they'll be friendly. The vast majority of huge insects you have. That alone makes me stay away. I saw a picture of the huntsman and I believe it's called that because it does in fact hunt men. I've seen a red spider that looks like a huge plastic toy, but it's real. I saw a spider that digs a huge hole in the ground. The spider itself is huge. I'm sorry. If I found any of these things near me, LD give it whatever it wanted to not harm me. My house? My car? My 401k? Whatever it wants, just please go the other way and never see each other again. Luckily for us, huntsmen are pretty chilled and make great housemates. Because they could definitely hunt men if they wanted to. They've been known to run up to 40 times their own body length per second. So the bigger ones have apparently been clocked at nearly 5 meters per second. Most non-elite male runners can complete a 100-meter sprint in between 15 to 20 seconds, so between 18 kilometers per hour, 11.18 miles per hour, rounding up, to 24 kilometers per hour, 14.91 miles per hour. These spiders can go up to 18 kilometers per hour, 11.18 miles per hour. So the average person would be fucked. The way everything shuts down early. Even after living here over a decade, it still floors me that I can't go shopping after work because almost everything is closed, and don't even get me started about how early clubs, restaurants, and pubs all close. I've spent time in backwoods parts of rural, southern America that had shops open longer, and bars open later, than anything LVE seen in Australia.